You know, the Japanese is said to be a nation or culture where everything is supposed to fit in, and if not, it's hammered into place. So think of a board with one nail sticking up. It will be hammered down. That's the image or impression of Japan. If something is out of place, you got to conform. And if you look at some of the videos online, you know what I'm talking about. Everything is conformity. So it's interesting when you see an article like this from the Tokyo Times, Japanese penis pandemonium. Something I think you probably never see in the United States of America, where people think they're liberated and free and can say and do what they like. Some things are just kind of untouchable here. So you wouldn't think that the Japanese would have a festival worshiping the penis. But here it is. Let's see here. With their portable shrines and pots of sake, Japanese festivals are generally fairly boisterous, which is noisy affairs. But for Kawasaki's annual fertility festival, the Kanamara Matsuri at Hachimangu Shrine, body could be deemed a far more accurate description. The marveling at massive members. Look at that. Wow. I guess this says a lot. I don't even have to say anything. Being the main source of amusement. Because these two women are riding a penis. I think literally or figuratively, however you want to look at it. Hmm. Also, for people a bit peckish, there's the usual fear of noodles and nibbles on offer, although for those particularly partial, a pecker or even a pussy may also be purchased. Wow, look at that. Yeah, selling right there. It's for sale. Let's see, right there. For sale. The former. Okay, this lady's sucking on something. Let's see. This is all from the TokyoTimes.org. Wow. Is that made of chocolate? Can you imagine in America, especially here in New York, a guy walking around the street with this in his mouth sucking? you know? Wow. That wouldn't that wouldn't go over too well, right? My goodness. You know, it's funny that there's certain things that people do in another culture that is acceptable, but here you try to do the same thing, you probably get beaten up just for doing it. Being the firm favorite. Look at these pictures here. And there, an event that, along with a phallic food, is a festival with a focus very much on fun. A lot of Japanese like to color their hair, and a fair amount of fornication. 69 type. Wow. The morning's penis-based proceedings eventually building up to an incredible climax. Wow. that sees the colossal cascade through the crowd, which, wherever one lives, is something seldom seen, it has to be said. Hmm. Look at these young ladies here. I guess the carrying one is an image of a penis. Wow, you would think this is like the San Gennaro Festival in New York, where like a lot of men carry, you know, the image of the saint, and a lot of men sitting there, I think, playing music and so forth. Very, very heavy stuff, but for some reason, you still can find some men who are willing to walk through the street carrying that heavy stuff on their shoulder. But for these women here, I guess this stuff isn't that heavy for them. No comparison to the San Gennaro, where you really need a lot of manpower. The San Gennaro takes place in Brooklyn, and that's Williamsburg. There's a church over there where they do that. They walk around in the street. This here reminds me of this. But with the San Gennaro, it's mostly men carrying the saint, Catholic saint. However, while the men worship the saint that they carry, these women are worshiping the penis. I find that interesting. Japanese woman worshiping the penis. I didn't know that. I used to work at the airport, and I used to see people coming in from Japan. But when I worked there, I think they used to come in the Japan Airlines used to come in the morning. I think like maybe after 6, 7 o'clock before I got to work. However, they do come in at other times that I ran into them. I had no idea. This would have been something to talk about with the young woman coming through. Although unfortunately, with such a lot of effort going in to getting things up and running, it only comes once a year. Well, that's how most festivals are. Once a year. So here they are here, some other people carrying a huge penis. Wow. Can you imagine walking down the street of Brooklyn, New York, carrying a huge penis? I'm just trying to figure out here the reaction you would get. How many women here would be carrying on? What are you trying to tell our daughters? Ah, how many 911 calls? How many people? The police would beat up people. You know that for sure. Or be pepper sprayed for carrying a huge penis on their shoulders. Yeah, this is interesting. And then they have comments here. Over 100 comments. Someone said, I've always wanted to go to one of these festivals when I was in Japan, but never was able to get to one. Maybe on some future trip. Well, I don't know if the Japanese might want you around, because the Japanese are, it's like they're worshiping what you call fertility. That's what it's about. Whereas for a foreigner may pervert the whole idea behind the festival. The Japanese don't see it as a perversion. They see it as worshiping fertility. Because Japan has a problem right now. They're not producing enough people. Most of the people are older. A lot of women either not getting married or something. They probably career-wise, from what I've seen where some women in Japan they actually go to like a shop. You see pictures of like different men, and they pick maybe one, two guys they want to drink with, and they pay. They actually pay money to sit down and drink with a man, and that's his job. Those men obviously become alcoholics because if you do that type of job, you have to make the woman happy, and you have to drink with her and talk with her. So, whereas here in America, you can't imagine a woman coming into a bar and paying to drink with a man. You know, everything to turn upside down. You're not gonna find that. You know, woman here would expect that you're gonna buy them a drink or something like that. But no, in Japan, they actually have special places that cater to women who work a lot. They don't have any man at home, and they want the company of a man, so they come in. Their pictures up there. They pick the man they want to be. Something like prostitution in a way, you know, but not the same thing. You see the girl you want, you pick the girl you want. Say, yeah, I want this girl or that girl, or maybe two girls. So if they want, they pick two guys, and they pay the fee, and they have to pay also for the liquor, the amount of bottles they're drinking, and they sit there and they drink. You know, which sounds like a weird concept because in America, I don't think we'll ever come to that, where women would go to a place and pick out men that they want to drink with and pay for the tab and the cost and all that stuff. I don't think that's gonna ever happen here. But that is Japan. So Japan, you got much older people, and they don't have the type of immigration laws like the United States, where we allow people in. Something similar is happening here too. Our population, like we don't have enough beds. The way things are going, we need to pay Social Security. How do we pay Social Security? If you have mostly older people and we don't have enough babies being born, well, you need to increase immigration. you know. So I know it sounds crazy, but like all those people coming in at the border and so forth, those young people down at the border, that's your potential right there. Because those people coming in, they want to work. They're not coming in and say, "Oh, I want you to give me something for free." They want to have a job to work, and if you can give them a job, they're gonna pay taxes. So the way you increase population, if you can't get women to make babies, is to increase immigration. So all those people down at the border coming in, I know it's hard for most Americans to understand the concept, but I read this in a book like many years ago. Yeah, going back, I think in around 1995, I think I read this. So this is a long time. And by then they were talking about um, America's population. You know, it's getting older, and it needs to pay its bills like Social Security and so forth. And Social Security operates like a Ponzi scheme. People who come in paying for those who are receiving right now. It's not Like you put in that money and you get no. The money you put in the Social Security, you can never get that amount of money. You get in more money if you live long enough and lucky to collect. You're gonna get more money than you ever put in that they take out. And they were saying the way you do it is you increase immigration. So you see a lot of people coming in, a lot of Hispanics at the border or trapped down in Mexico. If some of those people can come in here and make it, and you give them like a legal path to work, sure, you could solve a lot of your problems because you can have them working and they can increase the tax revenue that they will pay. So Japan is different from America, however. Japan, yeah, you have people who work in foreigners who go work in Japan, like Filipinos and other people from Asia. But they're still foreigners. They're not like in America here where you can like get a green card and like you live in here and that's it. You become and then eventually you can naturalize, become a U.S. citizen. Japan is very different. Yeah, you could go work in Japan, but good luck trying to remain there forever and become a Japanese citizen. It's not the same. And when you look at Japan, it's more homogeneous society, you know, where people are mostly similar. And that's the impression and the image they want to give. They're not ready to bring in a lot of people from outside. So you have an aging population in Japan. So this penis festival for fertility is only so good if people are willing to have relationships and to have children. In modern Japan, the women are not really into that. It appears a lot of young women are educated, so they're not going to really take time out to be having kids and so forth. Also, Japan is a society that prides itself on work, 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 work. They work a lot, and the way you make yourself look as important in Japan is that how much your ability to work, not how many kids you have, but if you can work maybe 6 days a week and work long hours, then that's enough to give you a badge of honor in Japan. So there it is, folks. The Japanese penis pandemonium. It's a festival in Kawasaki. Kawasaki, isn't that the name of the motorbike? Kawasaki motorbike. So, yeah, Kawasaki. So there's actually a place in Japan by the name of Kawasaki where they make those motorbikes and so forth. The names of those motorbikes, Kawasaki motorbike. All right.